When their brother Lazarus became deathly ill, the sisters, Mary and Martha, sent an urgent message to their friend Jesus, who had withdrawn across the Jordan to avoid arrest and possible execution for his supposed blasphemy. But Jesus, surprisingly, waited 2 days. Our friend Lazarus has fallen asleep, but I go to awake him. John chapter 11, verse 11. He told his disciples before setting out for the sisters' home in Bethany, a village of Judea, some 2 miles from Jerusalem. To correct the disciples' misunderstanding of this remark, Jesus bluntly informed them that his friend was dead and that he was glad he had not been there. Clearly, he was determined to work a miracle, though he was taking great risk by returning to Judea. By the time he got to Bethany, Lazarus had been dead 4 days. Devout Jews believed that the soul hovered near the body for 3 days, not finally departing until the 4th. Martha may have believed this and objected when Jesus ordered her brother's tomb open, but he insisted and called the dead man back to life. The resurrection of Lazarus, recounted only in the Gospel of John, divided the Jews who had come to Bethany to mourn with the sisters, because some knew about Jesus' soon-to-come resurrection and about the little girl, and the argument was over. Is Lazarus the first resurrection, or the second resurrection, or is Jesus the third resurrection? But who is the first and only resurrection? Jesus is the first and only resurrection. Well, what do we call Lazarus or the little girl? Some believed that Jesus was the promised Messiah, who would be restoring Israel as the first and only resurrection. And they were upset that Jesus had resurrected Lazarus, as this would confuse people, as if Jesus is the only resurrection, which he truly is, how can he resurrect Lazarus? And the arguments pursued. Others apparently saw trouble brewing and reported it to the Jewish leaders, who decided to kill Jesus. But he snuck away, for his time had not come yet. The high priests were working with the Romans. This is an account from Who's Who in the Bible, the Reader's Digest version. A very respected. As a truth teller, so you can trust what has come from this book came directly from the Bible. This is a respected periodical for research. I sit here and make this video in the footsteps of the greats like Bishop Barron, Pope Leo, Jonathan Cahn, David Jeremiah, Billy Graham, Joel Osteen, Billy Swaggart, Jimmy Swaggart, T.D. Jakes, and many other great evangelists, such as Martin Luther, Calvin, theologians of great stature, Joseph Smith. And the reason that I'm making this video and I lay out the story of Lazarus is to show and shine a light on the brilliance of Jesus Christ and how he was one step ahead, as he knew that the Egyptians in the past would go to the future and know that he would resurrect Lazarus. So, in an attempt to stop Jesus from the past of doing something in the future, let's go to the story of Horus, the Egyptian deity. Horus goes to erect Osiris. And who is there? Elazarus and his sisters, Mary and Merti, in a town called Bethanu, which is the house of Anubis. Anubis, the god of the dead. Jesus knew that the Egyptians in the past would try to steal the story of the resurrection of Lazarus. So they copied this. And Jesus, in his wisdom, in the future, did the resurrection. You're just saying, how can you prove this? Elazarus. Take away the E. What does it spell? Lazarus. Sisters, Mary and Mitty. Mary and Martha. In the town of Bethany. And you're like, yes, that's not even close. Take away the U and put a Y. Bethany. Jesus knew that the Egyptians in the past had stole his resurrection story in the future. But he was one step ahead of them because he made this resurrection happen before his resurrection in order to confuse the Egyptians coming into the future to go into the past in their DeLorean to steal the story. So he changed the names from Bethany, which he knew that that's what the Egyptians would use in the past, to Bethany. Lazarus, he knew they were going to use Elazarus. So he had a friend created named Lazarus with sisters of Mary and Martha instead of Mary and Mercy. Jesus, one step ahead of the Egyptian past. Amen, I say to you. Or Amon Ra.